Hello, this is Perry Ray with Rainvet Marketing, and we are on webinar number 2 in a series for CCC Makerspace Social Media. This one will be social media account setup, Facebook and Instagram. If you have any questions at the end of this, please leave them in the comment section on YouTube, and we will get back to you with the answers. So we're going to talk about, before you begin, what to do before we even get started on the social media accounts, and then we will get cracking on setting up the pages for Facebook and Instagram. So before we even begin, you want to think about what kind of usernames that you want. And in the previous webinar, we talked about getting approval and being compliant with your college and the chancellor's office, logos, naming, that kind of thing. Once you've got that sorted out, you want to get a name that best represents your college makerspace. And you want to try to get them all very similar. So if you're going to have a YouTube, a Facebook, and an Instagram, and a Twitter, you want them to be very similar. So look at the names that are available, because they won't always be completely available exactly like you want them, and each account has actually different character allowed in the name, so it can be a little frustrating trying to get them similar, but it can be done. You also want to have your images in order. So we want again, we talked about a logo, a cover page. Each one will be a little bit different. This link that I have here will be clickable. I'll have it in the description area on YouTube. So any links that are in here, you can click on them and find it. And you also want to have a password. And of course, write them down so you make sure you don't lose it. So you can have a different password for each account. If you don't think you could ever remember all that, you can make them the same. You just run the risk of a hacker, if it gets a hold of them, would have ability to get in all of your accounts, not just one. You also need to know your website address. So you're going to have an address on the CCC Makerspace website. And I know some colleges are possibly buying a URL for their Makerspace and then pointing it to the CCC Makerspace website address. So that's something that you guys can kind of figure out. You also want to have an email address that you can use for all these accounts. They will be for the admins to log in, and they also will receive notifications in those email addresses. And most of the accounts, once you put an email address, you have to go to it and verify it. So these need to be accessible. A good choice might be a Gmail address with a Makerspace name, and that would also serve for your Google account and YouTube account. You also want to have a bio or an about section description for your Makerspace. They don't have a lot of room. Facebook has a generous amount, but the other ones have a very limited amount of space. Twitter, I think, is the least amount. But you can get a bio together and then narrow it down depending on the space allowed in each one of these areas. All right, so if you want to go ahead and get your Facebook page open, we can kind of go from there. We're going to talk through it mostly. I'm not going to do a live demo on those pages, only because that really narrows it down and they do change frequently. So we're going to just go with this for now. And if we want to do live demos in the future for a webinar, if somebody would like to see, yes, let's do a live demo, walk us completely through these accounts, we can do that in the future. So to create a Facebook page, you're going to begin with this URL, facebook.com/pages/create. So when that comes up, you're going to choose local, business, or place, and then select community. So Facebook gives you a lot of options as far as what kind of business you might have. And because this is the Makerspace community, we're going with a community. It makes sense The page acts a little bit different and more community-like, so it's the best choice. Then you want to fill in the boxes there with the name that we talked about, address of your location, and a phone number. At this point, you can click Get Started, and then you'll see that it has created your actual page. You don't have anything in it yet, but you can see it up with the name. Right here would be your college name that you gave it, and there will be an @ sign with a username that you could use when you're sharing that information. Then you kind of go right down to this area right here where it says See All Page Tips. That actually is a very, very helpful section. You want to click on that and read through it, because if there are any changes by the time you get started on this, the page tips will be able to help clarify any of that. Under the College Makerspace name, click Create Page Username and then enter it there. That's what we just talked about right here. And you will be set on this section. Now you're going to add the images. I'm going to go back to that previous page. Right here is a cover photo and then your profile picture. You want to get those uploaded. Hopefully you've got those selected out. If you don't, you can always go back and add them. You actually have the option of uploading a video for your cover page, and that might be something you want to do for your Makerspace, because that would be very, wouldn't be static. It would be exciting and maybe highlight some of the things that you're doing. You can go to the About section that's on the left and put all of the Makerspace information, your email address, website, and go ahead and click Edit Story and put in your Makerspace description, the bio and About section that we talked about. After you select Community, located on the bottom left-hand side, you can invite your friends if it makes sense. So if you've got a lot of friends that are already in your, kind of Makerspace community, or even friends that will be active and find what you're doing on the Makerspace site interesting, go ahead and invite them now. If you don't want to do it now, you can always go back and do that at another time. Then near the right-hand side of the page, you're going to see Settings. And then you can go through and start entering that information here. Right here. Some of that stuff will not apply, so you can skip over it. And again, any of those you can go back and do it at a time, especially if you're not sure. So we talked in the intro section about being active on other pages and liking what other pages are posting and doing. This is the area where you're going to do that. You'll see Pages Feed, pages that you've liked. This area right here, if you click on it, and then a green box comes up and it says Like Other Pages. So you can type any of the page names in there. So you can type Makerspaces that you know, businesses that you know, colleges, your college, CCC Maker, get that stuff in there. So when you look at this feed, you will find what they're doing. And then if you don't have anything to post from your Makerspace, you could always share it right from that feed. So at this point, you are really ready to start posting. A lot of the stuff can be fine-tuned, but your page is now up and ready to go. It wasn't even that hard. The fine-tuning might take a little bit more as you find out for more information. You might want to change some information you put in, but you are set to post at this point. Also on the mobile apps, there's a Facebook Pages Manager. So not just the general Facebook mobile app, but the actual Facebook Page Manager. This is a great tool to have, and you're going to want it if you're going to do any live videos from your Makerspace. Facebook Live Video is a great way to highlight and showcase something that you're doing, because it shows up in the feeds of everyone that is already a fan or a part of your community on the page, and it will send out a notification that your Makerspace page is live, and it's more apt to have people hop on and see what's going on. These apps are, of course, on Android and iPhone, and they're really one of the easiest ways to work on your page. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about Instagram. You can start an account, create an account from your desktop with this URL, instagram.com/accounts/login. You can't post from a desktop on Instagram. It's really strictly a mobile app, so you might want to go ahead and download the app, Android or iPhone. And they're free and they're very easy to use. So to sign up, you're going to tap the sign up and say you don't have an account, and start populating the fields. This is very quick and easy. Remembering again, hopefully you've got those handles and things sorted out before you start. If you don't, or if you decide that you want to change them, these are easy to change. Just be aware that if you've put them anywhere like on your website or in your email address or your email signature, then you'll need to change them. So if you change them here, you're going to have to change the URL of wherever you shared them. Here again is where you add your profile picture and the bio and web address and phone number. For those of you who haven't used Instagram, it's fairly intuitive. There are function buttons on the bottom. The home button is where you can see anybody that you followed, so you want to start following people right away. That's where you can see who's out there, what they're doing. And then also you can search for other makerspaces, colleges, businesses, places by using either a hashtag or just the name. So if you wanted to search everything that was hashtag CCC Maker, you can do it in that search button and see what comes up there, and then like it so that people will see you're on and start following you. The post button is the button in the middle, and this is where you tap to upload a photo or a video that you've already taken or start taking it live. After you've done this, you can apply a filter to it to make it, pop a little bit, or black and white, whatever you want. It's pretty easy from there. The heart is where you're going to see new notifications from people that have liked or commented on your posts. So when you open the app, you might see a number next to that heart, and that means you've got activity. You click on it and you can see what everybody's doing. And then the button on the far right, account, is everything to do with your account information. So on the settings gear, right by your profile, that's where you can find followers, block users, change your passwords, and that kind of thing. And you should also use this area to switch your profile to a business profile. What this does is allows you to connect with your Facebook page, and you can see all your analytics there. If you don't have a business profile, you won't be able to see analytics, and the account profile looks more like a personal one. So it's a good idea to do it there. If you have the app already on your phone, or you want to also have a personal account, you can easily switch between the personal and the Makerspace account. This little arrow right here, you click on it, and that is a place where you can select a new account. If you don't have one there, it'll say add account, and that's where you could add your personal account. And then anytime you want to get on Instagram and you want to do something in your personal account, then you are at your Makerspace and you see something you want to post, you can easily toggle back and forth by just clicking these accounts. It's a very handy thing to have. So that is the Facebook and Instagram startup. Again, please tag and follow us. I use that CCC Maker hashtag whenever you can. That's how people are going to find you. If you have questions, go ahead and give me a email at perryray@ray-eventmarketing.com. And our next webinar is going to be on setting up Twitter and YouTube. Thank you very much. Look forward to your comments.